Good evening to you all. Today, we're meeting for the third episode on Surah Al-Aaraf. O children of Adam, we have sent down to you clothing to cover your nakedness and as adornment. But the clothing of righteousness that is best, that is one of the signs of Allah, so that they may remember. Here, the recitation was by Asim, Al-Hassan, and some others who recite it. And Risha, just as I'm telling you now. Not Risha. No. That's exactly how they used to recite it. Risha. That was one of the recitations for this word. All right, the meaning. The meaning is that God is telling people that He sent down water for you, water upon water. This produced cotton and flax. So you made clothes from them to cover your private parts better than exposing them. During the verse, during the circumambulation, tawaf. And at the same moment, God is addressing. He is rebuking the polytheists because they expose themselves. You see, by doing this, who are they obeying? They're obeying Iblis, so he can do to them what he did to their parents, Adam and Eve, and he tempted them and drove them out of paradise naked. This is the verse that was the story or the exact meaning of the verse. All right, the source here is the Tafsir al-Hidayah ila Bulyu al-Nihaya by Ibn Abi Talib. Here's the truth. Now, I have the questions. The questions. What's the wisdom behind repeating the word that those that you see there? Okay, if we remove the word that and say, and among the signs of God is, what would happen to the text? What flow would arise in the text if we said, that is better, and among the signs of God, so that they may remember? What would be read in the world? That was the first question. The second question is, what does it actually say here? In the text, it says he's addressing directly, O children of Adam, we have sent down upon you. Notice that upon you here is a pronoun for direct address. Someone is speaking directly to someone else, like a commander standing before his soldiers and saying to them, your duty requires you to defend your country. That's what come means here. You're addressing someone right in front of you. And then at the end of the verse, he said it twice. He said upon you and your nakedness. Okay, so this is a direct address from God to the children of Adam, without going through the Prophet Muhammad. Who is it? This is direct here. He didn't say to them or anything like that. No, because say comes a bit later, very clearly. So here, the address is direct from God to the children of Adam, telling them upon you is your nakedness. And then at the end, he says, so that they may. Wow. Okay, if you make it so that you may, let's keep going in the same context. If you remember, what would happen in the world? I honestly don't know. This whole idea of shifting the address was never mentioned by the Prophet at all, nor by anyone who came after him. Whether it was Umar ibn al-Khattab, Abu Bakr al-Siddiq, Ali ibn Abi Talib, or others, none of them talked about the issue of shifting the address, except for much later jurists. So that's what I'm talking about here. What is the wisdom behind making this switch from addressing directly to using the third person? O children of Adam, do not let Satan tempt you as he drove your parents out of paradise, stripping them of their garments to expose their nakedness to them. He and his tribe see you from where you cannot see them. We have indeed made the devil's allies to those who do not believe. The meaning here is that, look, God is addressing the children of Adam directly again, without going through the Prophet Muhammad. He doesn't say to them, or anything like that. He addresses them directly. He says to them, O children of Adam, right? Or, O children of Adam, don't let Satan overpower you. Don't let him make you fall into sins like he did with your parents. Who are your parents? Eve and Adam. So he expelled them from paradise without what? Without clothing or without any covering. He made them leave naked. The devil and his soldiers can see you, but you can't see them. Pay attention to that. So we, meaning God, and pay close attention to this word. We, meaning God, have made the devil's allies to those who do not believe, and we have given the devil's power over those people who don't believe, so that they can overpower them and lead them astray. That's it. It is God himself who did this. Who is the source here? So if you want to refer back to it, it's that Al-Wasit interpretation of the Quran by Sheikh Muhammad Syed Tantawi. The question here, pay attention, do you see what he's saying? He's saying that he and his tribe see you. All right, pay close attention to this word. His tribe here means his group, his men, his sons, whatever you want to call them. Just saying, you know. So, his tribe. Did God create them for Satan so they could be his soldiers, or did Satan recruit them on his own, without God's will? Who brought us this tribe, anyway? What we know is that there was only one Satan. Satan, God, commanded him to bow to Adam, but he didn't, so he was cast down. We don't need to repeat the conversation between them from the last episode or before. So here, the tribe, did God create a tribe for Satan? Or did Satan recruit a tribe or a group of angels for himself? Because, as we've said before, Satan was originally an angel. All right, that's clear. So that's the point of the matter here. Notice here that it is God himself, because this point is something we'll need later on. Here, it is us who made the devil's allies to those who do not believe. Pay attention and focus, because we'll need this in verse 30, just 2 verses from now. Very good. We are the ones who made them pay attention. That's one thing. That's a note. The second note is that the address is also in the second person pronoun, saying to them, he will tempt you. Pay attention. I'll highlight it in another color. He will tempt you and your parents. See, pay attention here, because this is very important. And then here, he sees you. That's nice. So here, it's a direct address from God to the children of Adam, using the second person pronoun. He will tempt you, your parents, and he sees you. And then, of course, at the end, it comes and says that it switches to the first person pronoun. I, we, Allah made, we, Allah. So here, there are 2 pronouns in the verse that refer to God. He addresses the children of Adam using the second person pronoun and speaks about himself using the first person pronoun. And when they commit an indecency, they say, we found our fathers doing this, and Allah commanded us to do it. Say, Allah does not command indecency. Do you say about Allah what you do not know? Here, what does this mean here? First, Al-Tabrisi says that here, in this empty spot, there is an implied pronoun, meaning forbid them from it. That's Al-Tabrisi who says this. Kathir says that here the pronoun is implied in this part. If they commit an indecency and are forbidden from it, they say. That's exactly what the story is. All right. So the meaning here is that those who do not believe, the group that doesn't believe, the ones whom Allah made the devils their allies in the previous verse, when they do. when they commit an indecency. What is meant by indecency here? If they worship idols or expose their private parts while performing tawaf. Very good. Here, they need some time and say no, we're just following our fathers. Our fathers used to do this, or they say something else. They say, we're carrying out God's commands. God. So what does he say to him then? He says to him, say, God only commands good deeds and noble morals. He doesn't command you to perform tawaf naked or to do anything bad. Meaning, to commit an indecency. That's exactly what the verse is about. So here, the source is Ruh al-Mani by Al-Alusi. The question here is the word say directed to the prophet so he can tell them, or is it meant generally for all of humanity? The truth is, the verse doesn't make the source entirely clear. And then you say to me here, and when they do, pay attention, and when they do hear, hear. And when they do. If we come to see what it says, look at the verse before it, which is verse 27. Let me bring it up for you again. It says, we have made the devil's allies to those who do not believe. Pay attention here, those who believe. Then you go straight to the next verse and say, or actually, keep in mind that we're supposed to connect it and say, those who, when they commit an indecency and are told not to, say, we found our fathers doing this. Because by doing that, you're linking, you're interpreting, you see, you're interpreting what came before. Those who do not believe, those who, when they commit an indecency, are told not to. Because honestly, the Vav, while I was studying the verse, while I was reviewing it, well, it's the same thing. What is it? See, you're supposed to have something before it, and this is a Vav, you get it, and when they commit an indecency. No, actually, verse 28 is supposed to be an explanation of what came before. Those who do not believe, those who, when they commit an indecency. That's just how my mind understood it. It makes more sense to me this way. Say, my Lord has commanded justice, and set your faces upright at every place of worship, and call upon him, devoting your religion sincerely to him. Just as he originated you, so shall you return. What does this mean here? The meaning is that this is a command from God to the prophet, telling him, say, here it is, say, O Muhammad, such and such. It's very clear that this is a command from God to the prophet, telling him, say this to those who do not believe. That God commands justice, virtue, and monotheism, that you should worship God alone in his places of worship, which are the mosques. Pay attention and tell them as well, worship him without associating anyone with him. Why? Because you are inevitably returning to him, and he will hold you accountable for that. Who is the source here? Al-Tahrir wa Al-Tanvir by Ibn Ashur. Pay attention to this point here. I don't have any question about this verse or anything. The point being made here is to say so that you understand the difference between the verse where God commands the Prophet Muhammad to say something and the verse where he doesn't, like when he previously said, O children of Adam, directly without addressing it through the Prophet Muhammad. A group he guided, and a group deserved misguidance. Because they took the devils as allies instead of God, and they think they are rightly guided. The meaning here is, look, he is going to tell them what? You will return to God as two groups. One group God has guided, and another group upon whom misguidance has become inevitable. So why has misguidance become inevitable for them, or why is misguidance their due? Because they took the devils as allies instead of God and believed themselves to be believers. Again, the source here is Al-Tahrir wa Al-Tanvir itself by Ibn Ashur. The question here is, how does God himself make the devil's allies for those who do not believe in verse 27? And then in verse 30, he says that it is the disbelievers themselves who took the devils as allies. How is that? I don't get this part. I mean, come on, pay attention. That they took the devils as allies. They took the devils as allies. Sorry, they took the devils as allies, and that's why misguidance became inevitable for them. Pay attention here. But if you, Lord, yourself, in verse 27, are the one saying that we made the devils allies for those who do not believe, we made, here it is. We made the devils allies for those who do not believe. We are God. This comes at the end, in verse 30. Pay attention. I mean, we can just copy it and put it over there so you notice it in verse 30. It's really simple. Of course, this one isn't part of verse 30. No, it's part of verse 27. Here it is. Now, go ahead and compare the two. We have made the devils allies to those who do not believe. That's in verse 27. And then here it says, some he guided, and some deserved to go astray. Why? Because they know it's not them. It's that, see, they've taken it as that, not them. Just so things are what? So things are clear. Are you paying attention to the fact that they're the ones who took the devils as allies? No, it's not that they didn't actually take them as allies in the first place. It's that we made them so. So really, this needed some reflection and analysis from all of us. Welcome, and thank you so much for your patience. Goodbye.